Hey guys, it's Sonni. We are talking about a topic today that is super important for parents, especially parents of young children. And it's something that I'm personally really passionate about because frankly, it's something I didn't even know existed until fairly recently. Human trafficking and the potential for our children to be targeted. I'm really grateful that Blair Pippin is here today. He's from Florida Abolitionist. It's a group that aims to end human trafficking, and today we're talking about some really simple ways that you can have discussions with your children to prevent them from ever falling victim. What do you want to tell parents that they might not know about human trafficking? Something they can walk away from that solidifies the best approach, or what you want them to know, to worry about or not worry about going forward.
It's preventable. This issue is very, very preventable through education. I mean, if people, and especially young people, knew the tactics and the ways that traffickers recruit and are aware of those things, then they're not going to go down that path, and then they're going to be safe. Because the majority of the time, it's not outright kidnapping. It's through that relationship building and earning trust, whether it's online or in person. So I think the biggest thing that I would say is educate your kids about those tactics that those traffickers use, so that they can stay safe.
It's terrifying to go on social media these days. We see all these posts on Facebook about situations where mothers in particular feel like they were targeted or being followed. I want to ask you, in your experience, and I know you deal with victims, and I know you actually work with police a lot in sort of breaking up these rings, how frequently does human trafficking begin, for example, in a grocery store where someone is being followed?
We don't see many of those cases, honestly. While there could be something going on, and we would say definitely be aware of your surroundings and stay safe. Don't go into a dark parking lot at night alone, kind of thing. But most of the human trafficking cases we're seeing, the trafficker will usually try to create a relationship with their potential victim. A lot of times, the most prevalent is a romantic relationship. And they might do it online or in person. And so, but there are also cases where it might be a woman recruiting another woman, because many times traffickers will get some of their victims actually to recruit others.
It seems like we need to be scared of everyone. I know that we don't want to send our children into the world with that mentality, but how do you sort of battle that, knowing that anything could happen, but not making them terrified of everything?
Terrified of everything. That's a good question. That's a really good question. And I think the same thing as, we talked about don't talk to strangers, that kind of thing. But in our world now with the internet, it's kind of like anybody can be your friend, right? But at the same time, that John Smith might not be an 18-year-old or a 15-year-old boy. It could be a 35-year-old or 55-year-old man. On the internet, you can be anybody you want to be. A young adult, teenager, female especially, that could be what's happening.
Well, let's talk about that too. You bring up female. Our little boys we have to watch too. I mean, I think people think this and automatically think women and young women and girls, but we have to keep an eye on our boys too. This is an issue I would imagine as well that you've seen, right?
Yes, we've had male victims that we've helped as well as transgender, and so it really runs the full scope and ages. You mentioned that earlier. We've had. You think about young teenagers, but many times we see older women as well. So it's an interesting issue that doesn't. What's the word I'm looking for?
Doesn't discriminate?
It doesn't discriminate, right? Yeah.
Okay, so if we wanted more information, I know this is your job, this is your mission to end this. Where can people go to get more? Well,
our website is stophumantrafficking.com. So it's very easy to remember. If you go there, you can look at our different resources that we have. We have a resource list of our articles. Our blog is pretty good of news articles that'll really show you what's going on. We have resources in there for parents, as well as just some of the news of the cases that we've seen, especially in the Central Florida area. And then also the National Human Trafficking Hotline is an important number just to have in your phone. if ever you were to see something suspicious, you can always call the number. It's an anonymous call, and they'll even help kind of ask you questions to identify, okay, is this really human trafficking, and what do we need to do here?
And I have to say, you guys do such a good job of updating people who follow you on the cases that you're working on. Going to your website is not only, it's super informational, but it's a little scary too, because you will see stories of people who have been through this, who you've helped, and you will see the nitty-gritty, and I love that about you guys. You're not scared to put out what's happening, but also what you're doing to prevent it. So it is a really great resource for anyone.
Yeah, and our social media, if you can search pretty much any social media platform, Florida Abolitionist. Facebook's where we have probably the most. We're actually doing Facebook Live videos every week, just little snippets of more information that anybody can get on there, and just to learn a little bit more each week about human trafficking.
Right. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming, Blair. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope we got some good information out to parents. So
yeah.
thanks.
Thank you. Sure.